Hey, Mr. slash Mrs. slash Miss Gender Neutral Example Person here, and yeah, I'm gonna tell you what life is. I'll be explaining the 6 characteristics of life. Characteristic 1. All living things have cells. Ranging from 1 to, let's say a billion, we all have cells. We're all made up of the same thing. That's right, we're all the same. Well, cellularly speaking. We as humans are multicellular beings. We are made up of many cells. In our body, all there are different groups of cells. For example, blood cells, neurons, they're all cells. That's pretty much what every animal that you could think of is. A multicellular creature. Then, you got those guys. The little guys that make us sick. Unicellular beings. These little guys include germs, bacteria, and viruses. But there are good unicellular ones too. Your blood cells are unicellular. Characteristic 2. All living things are made up of similar chemicals. Okay, so our bodies are made of chemicals, not your green bubbly fizzy type of chemical. We have water, nucleic acids, lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins. Also, our bones are made of calcium. Water is H2O, which is the most recognizable in the periodic table. Since our bodies can't produce these chemicals, we have to consume everything. Meats have proteins, butter has lipids, and bread has carbohydrates. Oh, and by the way, our nucleic acids make up your DNA, so you should be glad you have acid in you. Characteristic 3. All living things use energy. So where do we as organisms get energy? Molecules! Everything is made of molecules, even cells. So even unicellular beings are multi-molecule beings. So why do we need energy? Well, because we need to do things. Characteristic 4. All living things respond to their surroundings. So if we didn't have this, the whole human race would be extinct because of clowns. But we have these reactions, so we're not dead yet. So if you couldn't tell by my unrealistic example, all organisms respond to their environment to survive. Here's a more realistic example. You're cutting something with a knife, and you're careful with it. You know it's sharp, and it can hurt you. Characteristic 5. All living things reproduce. Okay, so you got asexual organisms and sexual organisms. Asexual organisms are organisms that can produce without a partner, so they can be a complete loner and still have hundreds of kids. Then you got sexual organisms. They need a partner to reproduce. What are some advantages for asexual organisms? Some saves energy trying to find a mate. Disadvantages? No genetic diversity. It's just a copy. An example is a starfish. They can break their limbs off and the limbs can grow into a completely new starfish. What are some advantages for sexual organisms? Genetic diversity. Disadvantages? Waste energy trying to find a mate. An example is, humans. Yeah, you. Characteristic 6. All living things grow and develop. You know when you look at your baby picture and then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, that was me? Well, you've grown and developed since then. Your beautiful face, yeah, it's developed since then. Your height, that's growth. Boom, done, example over. Sorry guys, I gotta do vocab now. Stimulus, cause of a reaction. Response, a reaction. Metabolism, building up and breaking down molecules. Sexual reproduction, 2 organisms come together to create a new organism. Asexual reproduction, organism creates copy of itself. Homeostasis, the process of maintaining constant internal conditions, basically balance. Chemicals, anything made of chemicals. Atom, smallest particle ever. Element, a type of atom. Molecule, two or more atoms linked together. Compound, 2 or more types of atoms linked together. How will this be a big part of school? How will it lead to success? Here's my answer. You need to know these things to succeed. Imagine if you didn't know and someone asked you and you didn't know. No one would want to give you a college degree, let alone high school diploma. That won't lead to any success in your life.